Hi guys, so I'm doing my filming at my resin station. It's not the cleanest because, you know, there's resin flipping everywhere. Anyway, ooh, losing stuff already. Basil, get out of things. So this is going to be my first tutorial from the Craft With Me series. So we've got resin pendant with summer. Basil, stop. Out. You're trying to eat things. Basil, go lay down. Oi, he drives me nuts. Thank you. So, for me, summer always means beach. So what I've got, I actually have 4 shells that I'm going to be working with. And they were actually collected from Newport Beach in California when I was still in California. And as you can see, there are holes already drilled in them. So I'm going to try to work around that because I kind of preemptively drilled holes in a lot of my shells. So it looks like this one does not have a hole. So that's good. So I'm going to put these guys aside and I'll figure out something for them later. So this will just be this guy. So what I'm going to do first is from the Dollar Tree you can get this sticky tack stuff. And I'm going to basically make this level with that, using that. So just so that it doesn't, you know, wibble wobble and all of that good stuff. All right. And I want to kind of make that a flat surface. So then what I do, got to put on your gloves. So sorry, it's going to be messy because I haven't done this before. So I always put on nitrile gloves because you never know if you are going to develop a sensitivity to resin. And I have seen too many horrible videos of people with straight up like sores on their hands, on their arms, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. So let me get our popsicle stick, and I like to use the art resin because it doesn't put out the toxic fumes. So I don't have to use my, what's it called? My respirator mask. So I'm not going to start with a very big dosage or whatnot. Let's go with 10 ounces total. So I've got my little measuring cups and I kind of just put the resin in there. I mean, if you've done resin, that's all pretty self-explanatory. And okay, that should be fine. Believe it or not, I'm actually looking at it to measure it. So I have never, ever done resin where I don't mix quickly. That's just what I do. Basil, get out of things, please. Oh my God. Troublemaker. So basically, because I am not a patient person, which is funny because I also do beadwork and wire work, and that takes a lot of patience. So you can imagine there's all sorts of obscenities and things flying around my studio. I've gotten better in learning that certain techniques take certain amounts of patience and certain amounts of practice before you really get them down. Okay, so just like with any resin, I'm gonna mix until it's clear. But I just really like this resin because it's really good. So for this project especially, bubbles I think are gonna be totally fine because I want this to kind of look like oceany. So I also have some really cute charms here, and I think today for this one I'm gonna use this double dolphin one. So the first thing I do, see if I can do this on camera, I'm going to clip off this loop with my flat nose clippers. Mine, as you can see, are a little bit damaged, so I really should be getting a new pair, but these are my favorite cutting pliers. So then, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of wonky. I like to just take just a nail file from the Dollar Tree, just to kind of make that not as sharp of an edge and make it look more like that's how it was made versus, oh, she snipped the top off of it. Sorry for the nail filing sounds, but it is what it is. Alrighty, and I should have grabbed this beforehand, but that's okay. So, a while back, I found 3 kits with resin dyes, red, yellow, and blue. So I have 3 of each of these, and you know, a drop goes a long way. So, and I want it to be kind of translucent, like the ocean. So let's just go ahead and mix this in a bit and see what color we've got. I want it to be a little bit more pigmented than that. Now this stuff smells like alcohol, so just FYI. I don't think that they sell the kits anymore though, so who knows. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty watery looking. Alright, so normally I just drop things in because like I said, I have like no patience with things, but for this I'm going to just kind of put in a little bit and drag it up. And around, and you know, I've been meaning to do a Watch Me Resin video for like a very long time. But I was always like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fumble over my words, I'm gonna sound like a dork, like I don't really wanna do that, and I actually feel like I'm having a little bit of fun with this. Alright, so that's looking pretty good, and I'm just gonna leave the bubbles. I'm not gonna touch them, I'm not gonna pop them, nothing like that. And then, you know, for extra resin, I always like to have something kind of ready, like a small mold. But right now, I'm totally failing at that. So, thankfully, my molds are well within grabbing. Okay, so let's see here. Here we are. Okay. So, since we're going with the summer theme, narrowly avoided, guys. Narrowly. So if you're a klutz like me, be careful. So let me move these out of the way. Okay. So like I said, since we're going with the nautical type of theme, I'm going to use this mold that I got. It's a Mod Podge mold. Oof. And it is dirty. Let me grab this up here. It's really hard to keep things clean when you live in a place with a dog. And especially hard to keep things clean when you also happen to be a pet sitter or dog walker. Okay, so I'm just dripping it in. You know, if you've done resin, it's pretty much the same kind of techniques. you know, nothing new under the sun, right? And I just have been wanting to do a tutorial, but like I said, I'm a nervous Nelly, so I've been putting it off. Alright, and I still have a bunch of resin, so let's make a teeny tiny blue seashell. And these ones I'm gonna actually pop the bubbles with. Okay, and then I'm gonna pour the rest of it into this guy. Perfect. Alright, and then because I don't like waste, okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cover these bad boys up, and then I'm gonna come back in, well, I don't know, hour or so. Let it thicken up a little bit before I start placing other things. But first, I'm gonna get the bubbles off of the top of this guy. These are gonna be babysat a little bit more. I'm gonna leave the bubbles in that one. So, all right. So I'm gonna cover these bad boys up. Shaboom. And quick resin tip: these plastic containers that you get foodstuffs in, perfect for covering things up to make sure the dust doesn't get in it, fur, what have you. So anyway, stay tuned for part 2. Bye. Okay, so this is going to be part 2. The lighting is really cruddy because it's like super rainy and gross today. It was like, hey, it's summer, and then it was like, hey, it's not anymore. Literally like within a day. Anyway, so these guys are sitting. I'm still getting the bubbles. Come on. Out of this guy especially. And this guy, I'm loving the bubble action actually, so I'm leaving those. And I think we're going to be ready to do some decorations. So I got these. Yeah, it's been a while. So it was like in a resin surprise box thing that I got. There's my troublemaker in the back, just doing whatever he's gonna do. Oh, he's got his bone. Okay, can't even get mad at him for that. So I'm gonna just add a couple into there. And those will sink a little bit. And I'm not putting it on the bottom because that's where I'm going to put the sand and this guy. So where did I put my... So these are actually, if I can get the bag open, little shell fragments. But it works just fine for sand. And I don't want too terribly much, but I just want to put it down here and let it kind of sink in, do its sand thing, or shell thing. Okay. Yeah, see, that's looking kind of cool. And then this guy, let's see. I think we're just going to put it right in there. And it's going to sink a bit because it's, you know, metal. And actually, kind of like the idea of having it just be... Yeah, I like that. Okay, we're gonna do that. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So you get that really cool outline of the dolphins in there. And then what I'm gonna do is, let's see here, put a little bit more, and let's see, put the rest into this little baggie. It's harder to do stuff like this when you have long nails, by the way, so if you're thinking about getting long nails, just FYI, it's kind of difficult. So I'm going to take this little shell charm and do the same nip. And let's see here. I think I had tweezers at some point. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put one here. And got another one. And I'm going to put this one. That's not where I wanted you. Okay, so I'm going to put them kind of on top of each other. And we'll get a little bit of the resin over it. So that's looking pretty cool. Let's see if I can zoom in and show you guys. So yeah, you can see right there, you can see the outline of the dolphins. And we've got some bubbles, some natural bubbles in there. This is the natural shell underneath the silver shells. And a few little glitter details in there. So yeah, so then after this, I'm just gonna drill a hole in here. And I may or may not do a video process of that. So we'll just see, but anyway, that is the end of the resin part, and I think it's going to be really cool. I'm kind of excited to see it, and thank you guys so much for staying with me, and I'll catch you guys on Saturday this weekend. Okay, bye.